very privileged slice of Brisbane that are here tonight. We can afford maybe a solar panel, we can maybe afford an electric car. There's very large chunks of our economy and in other places that can't make those decisions. They can't opt to move themselves out into a cheaper energy mix. How do we make sure that there is not that structural damage left where there are people who are paying more for their energy because we've got to keep the grid reliable? How do we find a way to bring equity into this discussion?
I have not seen any of the modelling of various carbon or energy options and seen graphs of how equity changes through poorer regions, through rural regions, through different groups. So I think that needs to be part of the models. We need to know how inequities grow. I don't know. I don't know if they get worse or I don't know if they get better, to be honest, in terms of people. But, you know, that to me that is so important. How do you get equity? I used it today in a tweet. I mean, the government has to interfere because market forces will create inequities and those inequities will grow, and we have seen inequities in Australian society grow for 25 years, and I think we're heading towards, we need work to redress those issues. Tax is civilisation, and I suppose Graham might say we don't want too much interference from government. I just think government interference is essential, and I dislike the fact that government have walked away from doing much at all. Let the capitalists have their way, and that's what happened, 25 years of growing inequity. So I do think whatever, I don't know whether coal, gas, hydro, whatever is more or less inequitable, but I think there needs to be a heavy hand from government to make sure it doesn't create inequities between people, whatever path we do, and I don't see the modelling.
Yeah, on the issue of inequity, you don't address that through the energy system. It's wrong to say that there's been increasing inequality in Australia. The Gini coefficient's been remarkably stable for quite a period of time. Once you take transfer, well, it's a fact. There's not much point arguing about it.
Google it later.
And if you look at around the world, inequality has been decreasing. And it decreases as societies get richer. So what we have to do is ensure that our society maintains its standard of living. We need to worry about things like productivity. Our productivity's been dropping for a variety of reasons. You know, you need an economic system which is efficient and which delivers goods. You need things to be able to be competitive. You get inequality when people manage to carve out for themselves niches and use government regulation to protect themselves against competitors. You want an open economy where businesses can be challenged, where it's easy for people to set up new businesses, where finance is readily available. But they're all economic issues. Price of things like fuel may go up, it may affect some people more than others. You as a government will never be able to micromanage that to make sure that there are no losers. The market's the best way of sorting out those things. Those people will find ways of doing things more cheaply if they can't afford it. You'll probably, moving to electric cars, you'll probably find in 2040 there's still people driving petrol-driven cars. They might have a bit of trouble finding a fuel station by then, petrol station, but they'll still be built, still be driving them. There'll be a huge market that people will be servicing for replacement parts for cars that are no longer manufactured. There'll be engineering workshops turning those things out for the people that haven't been able to afford to move across. Eventually they will move across. You know, their standard of living will rise to a point, or the second-hand market in those cars will fall to a point where demand will meet supply. And that's how we've managed to create this incredible civilisation that we're in today. It wasn't done by governments. It was done by free exchange between free consenting adults.